Do you want to expand your knowledge on the force? Do you use more basic forces because it's a little bit more comfortable for you? Well, today I'm going to show you a force that is just as easy but extremely convincing. So stay tuned to find out. Hey, how's it going, guys? And welcome back to my channel. My name is James Pena, and this channel was created to show you the hidden details of sleight of hand, or just to even improve on what you may already know. Today, we're going to be learning the Cull FORCE. For as long as I've been doing magic, I feel like the Cull FORCE is a very underrated move in magic. Magicians normally stick to either like a riffle force, a dribble force, just because it's more comfortable and it's more surefire. In my personal opinion, I feel like the Cull FORCE is actually probably the second force closely related to a classic force. Again, just my opinion on just like the way, I don't know, the way it's presented and stuff like that. Also, it's good to just expand your knowledge on forces, right? You shouldn't just learn how to do just a riffle, how to do just a dribble, or just a classic, or so on and so forth. You get the drift. You always want to learn more than one force because you never know what may arise. It could be you may need a force 4 cards, maybe not, but you always want to add something to your arsenal. So first things first, I'm going to be showing you the detailed mechanics of the Cull FORCE so you know exactly how to do it properly. After that, we're going to switch over to angle sensitivity, just so you know exactly what angle you should be working with so your spectators aren't seeing everything. And lastly, the main focus of this channel, we're going to be going over the tips and subtleties for it so you can improve your handling at it. That being said, let's get into the tutorial. Let's go ahead and get out your favorite deck of cards and let's learn how to do the Cull FORCE. Today we're going to be using the Animal Kingdoms. I believe they're by Art of Play. Go ahead and check them out. I'll leave them a link in the description so you know where to buy them. This is what the backs look like, and everything about this is pretty custom, as you can see here. To get with today's video, how do you do the Cull FORCE? I would highly recommend you watch the Cull video. I'll leave it up here and also leave it in the description below. So go watch that because I cover almost every aspect of the Cull, and a majority of this Cull FORCE uses the Cull, as it's in the name. How to do it? You essentially just cull a card. So in this case, the 4 clubs. You cull it. It's now right here in the bottom. They select whatever they want. Let's say they select this. All you're doing is putting this card down here, squaring it, and now you can show it to them, right? But it's the 4 of clubs. And that is how you do the Cull FORCE. But keep watching so I can go over angle sensitivity and the tips and subtleties. So angle sensitivity is going to be really quick because I covered most of it in the Cull video. So if you watch that Cull video, you know exactly where the angles are at. But I'll just go over it very quickly. Since you're culling, it's pretty angle proof because you're covering it within the spread. The only angle you're really going to be faulting at is right up here, right? Because if I were to turn this and if I were to cull, people will see a card sliding. So how to properly defeat that is to just leave your finger up here, right? And then when you cull it, right, you want to cull with your middle and ring. And then now, yeah, you can see it a little bit, but they won't be able to see it because your index finger is covering it. So that's really how you defeat the angle sensitivity here. So I know mechanics and angle sensitivity went by pretty quickly, but a majority of this was in the tips and subtleties. So let's get to it. So the first thing you want to do is where to put the card. Now, I know earlier I said you leave it at the top of the spread, but there's somewhere specifically that I like doing it. Grab your deck of cards and just spread. Just spread, just literally a little bit, just like that. Just spread a little bit. And then wherever your finger touches, just pick up. Now count how many cards you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 or 8 is usually what I pick up, just naturally. So do it a few times, see if you nail it every single time. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? That's usually what I pick up. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 7 or 8 is usually where I get it. Whatever is up to you is what yours is, sorry. But get used to doing that. And the reason why I'm telling you this, so more often than not, I get an 8. So I'll usually put my card in the 9th position. Why do I do this? Because if I naturally pick up 7, 8 cards, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I'll pick up 9 here, but it's usually 8. So if I know that in this hand I have 8 cards, I know that I can immediately call the next card because that's where I left the force card, because I'm going to leave the force card in the 9th position. Now again, why do you do this? Because usually in a Cull force, people have you count. So it's usually, hey, count off, I don't know, 6 or 7. So you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 8th card, and then boom, and then you call it, right? It's just so you can avoid counting. It's so you can immediately get into a spread, right? And then call, and then immediately just do that, right? That's the only reason why I have you do that. So again, just spread this top, pick up. How many do you get? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? I usually get 7 or 8. Very rare occasions I would get 9, as you just saw right now or earlier, but get used to it. Now that you're used to it, whatever your number is, just add your card to the next one. So if you normally pick up 5 cards, if that's how your hands, if you have small hands and you generally just pick up 5 cards, then put it in the 6th position. So when you spread that 5 cards in your hand, right, just like I did now, you can immediately call it and then just go about your day. So just keep practicing that. A lot of this is just muscle memory. Now I know it seems a lot for a Cull, but trust me, it helps. It always helps to improve yourself. So just pick up, get used to that. Get used to how many you count. I'll shuffle it a little bit, at least give yourself a cut, and then just start all over again so it's accurate every single time. So you found out your number, you have that muscle memory. We're gonna stick with, I don't know, we'll just stick with this amount. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So I picked up 7. So again, I leave it usually in the 8th position. So King of Spades. So now that you've picked this up, the next subtlety here is that after you call it, how you present their selection is extremely important, right? The reason why I say extremely important is because instead of having them pick their card and then doing this, right? What you can do is when you force that card, right? Let's say this 6 of hearts. If you out jog it, I know not much of a difference here, but if you out jog it and then do that, they now think this is their card, right? And it's just kind of like an added convincer. So from here, you can do it. So let's say you don't want to see it, right? But you already know what it is, so you don't have to see it. So you can just show it like that. Or if you don't care, if you or the spectator sees it, you can just go like this and you're good. So again, out jog the card and it'll be a really nice convincer. The beauty about you showing the card like this, right, or like this, is that right after it, right, let's say you don't want to see the card. So you do your force. I'm just going to pretend I did a force here of the King of Diamonds, all right? So let's say, that's actually a pretty small packet. So we'll do it like this. Oh, 6 of Diamonds. So we'll do the 6 of Diamonds. From here, you can literally drop, right? And then that was a really bad one. But you can make yourself a quick, there you go, that's better. A quick in jog. And then if you really wanted to, you can just leave it like that, right? Kind of facing towards the spectator, and they'll never see that. And now they don't think you have it controlled. You're just like, okay, cool, we'll leave your 6 of Diamonds somewhere in the middle, yada, yada, yada. If you need to control it. Usually when you're doing a force, it's because you have a prediction or whatever. But from here, at least you have the opportunity to leave it be. And then from here, you could do whatever you want. You can do a diagonal palm shift. You could do a Tenkai steal. You can, I don't know, you do whatever you want, really. You can control it to either the bottom or the top. Again, totally up to you. But again, just have this tool in your tool bag, I guess is the best way I can phrase it. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is a quick trick. So usually what I do is, you can do an ace production. I personally don't like to do ace productions like that. I'll usually make a trick out of just using every force in the book. So I'll have them, I don't know, pick any card. I'll usually peek this You can force it. I wouldn't recommend forcing it because you're about to do a bunch of forces. So in this case, let's say we peek the 5 of spades, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it off to the side and be like, okay, I don't know what this is, you don't know what this is, but we're gonna use the deck to find out what it is. Now from here, if you know how to do it, you can call all the 5s to the top. But just for just quickness here, I'm gonna just take them out and put them to the top. Oh wow, look at that, just like that. So you now put all of them to the top. First thing you wanna do is, what I personally just like to do is just do a cross cut force. I'll just be like, hey, just want you to cut wherever you like. Talk, whatever the case may be. Whatever you want, just make sure you're talking about literally anything. And then just be like, okay, look, you cut to that card. During this whole performance, you're not really showing them any cards. So you're just gonna put one there. So now you have another card, the other 5. You can do a dribble force if you like. So just like that. I actually don't like doing dribble force or riffle forces like that. I usually cut multiple times and then I'll do it. So now you're holding that break. You have them say stop, they say stop there. And then you're gonna add that card. Now from here, I like to do this is where I do a Cull FORCE. So I said my number was, I usually pick up 7 or 8. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make this the 8th card. So I'm gonna drop off 7. So I'm gonna shuffle, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Now I'm gonna out jog this just a tiny bit, right? You don't wanna be too obvious about this. And then just shuffle off the rest. I usually like to take a little packet off. I don't like to go straight into the cut, right? And then I usually just do this. And then now, this little break right here is where that card is. So from here, you can do the Cull FORCE. So from here, I'll go ahead and pick it up. And then that 5, yep, is right there. And I barely have to count. So from here, you just like, hey, I just want you to take any card that feels good to you or right for you. And then they can literally pick whatever they like. Let's say they pick this. From here, I like to flash the card. I'll just be like, okay, you picked, okay, the 5. Cool. And then that's the only card they have seen. I'll take this and be like, okay, we're gonna try to find out what that card is. I guess this will tell us, I think this tells us the number. So I think it's, or yeah, I think it's a number. From here, I think it's a red card possibly. I'm not really too sure. Maybe this card will tell us. Oh no, I think it's a black card. I think it's the 5 of spades. And then from here, you could just do that. Very simple. Not the greatest performance. I'm just kind of showing you. Maybe you can alter it to whatever you'd like. Maybe you do want to do an ace production and start off your routine that way. Or I don't know, really up to you on what you want to do at this point. But just a good way to use more than one force. Keep practicing the Cull FORCE and try to complement it with any other forces that you may be doing or any routines that you are trying to perform. So that being said, to my new viewers, if this is the type of content that you like, then if you really want to, go ahead and hit subscribe and make sure you hit the notification bell so you know anytime I upload. To all my returning viewers, if there's something that you didn't like, then leave it in the comments below. Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe the angle that it was at, maybe the lighting isn't that great, maybe the camera was like a potato quality, but leave it in the comments below so I can make sure your viewing experience next time is better. But to those that did like today's video, then go ahead and hit the like button to show your support. And always, as I say, make sure you write in the comments what you would like to see for next week. Maybe there's a sleight you're working on that I haven't covered. Maybe there's a particular trick that you think can have a better handling. Then again, let me know in the comments and that'll possibly, most likely, be next week's video. Well, that concludes this week's video, so I will be seeing you next week. Peace.